I can't get his name now, but he went there to seek for knowledge, to seek for understanding and conceptual framework of how Malaysia has been able to transform, you know, from where it was and where it is. You know, yes, I have initially, you know, I saw General Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, as somebody who should be able to lead that crusade, but I was eventually disappointed. But I still believe there are people who still can make Nigeria what it is. Jonathan once said, and I agree with the former president, that what we need in Nigeria is to discourage people, you know, through reorganization of our system. When you reorganize, you know, then the opposition was shouting, "There's corruption in Jonathan government. This." He said he is not coming. He's not. He went ahead to say there's a difference between stealing and corruption at that time. So you see this corruption. The system itself is encouraging it. Let me cite an example.
Okay, we're far out of time. So you're saying reorganization now of the system.
I can assure you, when Nigeria is able to reorganize the system itself, to the extent that, let me give you an example. If the IGP is no more answerable to, once it's appointed, it's not answerable to anybody, you will see that the system will work. If any security man is appointed on a clean slate, with due process in the way the USO own is done, you will see that those that are corrupt, whether be who high profile person, I will not mention it because no court has pronounced anybody guilty, but I will say that however it is, anybody that is found culpable would face the wrath of the law and will get conviction. Then two, our judiciary, in a nutshell, we must, a part of the system that must reorganize is our judiciary. We need to do that.
All right.
You know, go forward in this country.
Okay, thank you, Segun. While we are waiting for reorganization of the system, we have another probe coming up, and of course the House of Representatives has reviewed it to start the probe of Northeast Development Commission over a 100 billion financial mismanagement. Of course, this was brought to the plenary by Minority Leader of the House, Ndidi Elumelu, and he said, Elumelu said, the 100 billion naira given to the commission by the federal government has vanished with nothing to show for it. And he alleged that Mohammed Goni Alkali, Commission's Managing Director, of awarding inexistent contracts. Now we're talking about, well, let's not forget the former acting EFCC boss, Ibrahim Magu. His case is still there, so let them not think that we've forgotten. So we still have that case there where the head of a corruption panel is also facing corruption allegations. That we also have the Niger Delta Development Commission that's also facing their own probe, and now we are having the Northeast Development Commission. We know that the North we've been complaining about underdevelopment there, and all these commissions have been brought to question. What exactly are they doing in those areas? We still have other investigations going there. Let's not forget Dieza and Alison Madwike. That one is also still ongoing there. But let's go to other issues now. Talking insecurity. And we know that the Nigerian Senate on Tuesday has asked the country's service chiefs to step aside as a result of the rising insecurity in the country. In the same vein, the opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, have also called for the resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari due to the fact that we are having series of corruption matters on hand there, and of course insecurity. Go to the north there in Kaduna, Kano, we keep on hearing of people being killed. I think the recent one, we saw children being killed there. So let's start with you, Chris. What's your take on this?
Look, I'm sorry, I just have to be very blunt because that's where we are. Look, at the base of insecurity is corruption.
All right.
How? Let me recall what Sani Abacha of blessed memory said. And he is properly placed to say it. He said, if insurgency lasts for 48 hours, then the government is involved.
Which one has gone past 48 hours?
48 months.
Okay, so because I've only said 48 hours, I got to calculate in my head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it said, don't forget, it was Chief of Army Staff, and then Chief of Defense at a point, and then became head of state, military head of state. So he knows the system of the military. And as a manager of violence, he knows the windows, the row, the possibilities of security, insecurity. So if he said that, he said it on authority, and it's a word on marble. And look, if these service chiefs, I want to say this allegedly, my conspiracy theory, if the service chiefs, if that institution or those individuals are not involved, one way or the other, directly or indirectly, I do not think Boko Haram will be disgracing us like this.
That's your own theory, right?
Yes, under the past government, we saw a lot of that. I think we are even trying a bit here. I mean, you saw all the videos where the ragtag army were chasing our army like cockroaches and dispossessing them of their weapons. We had a time when, especially during the Chibok Girls, if you recall, when foreign help was going to come. In fact, there's a particular scenario where they said those guys came. I don't want to mention the country. They said they came. They've done the surveillance and all of that, and they zeroed in on where those kidnappers were and the Chibok girls. And they said maybe they were going to strike tomorrow or next, I don't know when, but they're going to gas those people. Guess what? Those people discovered that when they went back to where they were looking, they saw those people already having masks. No, who did they trust? They have to run away for their lives because they don't know what's going on here. So, how did those people know that foreign help
was coming
and the way they were coming? And for those people who held that meeting, this security meeting I'm telling you, was held with the highest level of security chiefs. And just from that place in Abuja to the bush in Sambisa or wherever, already those guys know that they have to wear masks. So what are we talking about? Now, don't forget, follow the story. When Buhari came, before Buhari came, those guys were already occupying local governments. In fact, they were going to start taking state if we were not careful, because that was too reckless. Now, Buhari came, based on his promise, routed them off the land. They didn't have any, are you following me?
Yes.
No land again.
Yeah.
Now, he had really technically succeeded. Let's face it, at the time. Now, that meant that the vote, money now, the direction of money would now change. And the magnitude, the volume of money will also change, either reduce or somewhat like that. And that means that some people who had this particular assignment had been done. So that means those people, you've done your own, go back to the barracks, correct? That means you won't have any access to money again. Are you getting me? So you now use the money to either to rehabilitation or whatever. That means the money may not be going to the military or going to those who did it, maybe to civilians or whatever. And then, I mean, nobody likes to be broke. There has to be activity so that it will justify spending. Do you understand? So that's what we are seeing now. We have seen the death of, this conspiracy theory, but I'm sure it's connected, death of our only female combat pilots.
First female flying.
I mean, sorry, the first, right? Only for now, I haven't yet. Right? And the scenario of her death is so funny, it's annoying. All right? Now, all of this you may not quickly connect, but for those who can deep think, they can quickly see the connect. Because that girl has been doing things for us. All right? Detail so many things that we may not see now. But what am I saying? For the legislature to be asking for the resignation of those service chiefs, they know what they are saying, they know what they are hearing, they have their evidence in their hands, and for them to come out and say, no, these guys have to go. You understand? And it's been a long, I mean, the cry for these guys to leave that place had been a long time now.
Yeah.
So for them to remain there, mean that there's something that nobody is telling us.
All right.
And right now, for as long as those guys remain there, insecurity will persist.
Okay, let's have the take of Segun. Now, of course, we also know that President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday departed for Bamako, the Republic of Mali, on a one-day visit following the briefing by the ECOWAS Special Envoy to the country, former President Goodluck Jonathan. So while we're still having a series of insecurity in the country, corruption, the president went to Mali, and there have been lots of reactions to it, kicking against the fact that he went outside the country when we have other problems in our country, and even in the midst of a pandemic. So what's your take on this? Quickly, please.
If the president went to Mali, and if he didn't go, what changes from history? He has been there for about 6 years now. I can give you a lot of instances that his presence is not, there's no significant changes, even if he's at home or is outside the country.
That's quite pathetic to say.
To me, nothing changes. Nothing. As far as I'm concerned, nothing of. There's nothing. There's no. There should not be any hula baloo about his going.
What about health concerns? If you're saying that, fine, he has been inactive since. What about health concerns?
That is his own personal issues.
Okay.
As a president, like in the way I am as an individual, at my adult age, there are decisions I should take.
Okay.
But going there, yes, it's official duty, but as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like issue. There's no, as far as I'm there, is staying at home has no significant impact.
All right.
Now, I want to quickly talk about, quickly go back on.
Quickly, please.
You see, my professor, what that taught me, Professor Dr. Oyewole Fagun, when one of his books he wrote, there's no known time where leadership and corruption are of different sides. They are twin sisters, and that they are together in every spheres of life. Leadership and corruption are twin sisters, and they are together. And I agree with him. You see, one of the challenges we're having in the country is not getting those who are supposed to be the real men in the Nigerian army contingent, and those who uses influence through corruption to join the military.
All right, okay. All right, we'll quickly go for a break now, but do remember that you can be a part of this program by sending a message 0814-658-8756. Of course, on Facebook, Editors Forum-Galaxy TV. You can send your message or WhatsApp to that number 0814-658-8756. Please, messages only. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still on to Editors Forum exclusive to Galaxy Television. Of course, we have messages already pouring in there. Please do not call. Please just send a message. Please, a call will distract me reading your messages. He said, Chris is amongst the Nigerians that has spoken the truth about people ruling Nigeria. I know it will stop one day when the youths will one day wake up for their rights. They are destroyed where the youths will finish university education without no job and they are happy. That is from Mr. Stanley. Kudos you guys. May God bless you. That is from Mr. Segun. Mr. Segun, you have said it all. Today is 25th. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs refused to pay NPAS their June stipend. That is Yemi from Ifako. Of course, that's another one here. Truly, as your guest has said, Mr. Segun and Otaigbe, we have many hushes. Oh, okay, he's referring to Hush Puppy. Okay, Hushes in Nigeria, Hush Akpabio, Ponde, Mago, and NAS members, both federal and state. Okay, he's saying another one there, but I will not read that. I am Young Oko. Thank you very much for your message there. Okay, we have another one there. Good afternoon, panel of discussants. This cannot happen in a whole... Okay, please, I will not go forward to your message. You have some messages that we... that are quite defamatory here. All right, we're still talking about the NPOWER scheme here now. We talked about insecurity, we talked about, of course, the NDDC probe, and now NPOWER scheme. This NPOWER beneficiary scheme was to help alleviate poverty and, of course, empower lots of Nigerians. And now we're having the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, her name has come up again, saying that she cannot, okay, let me get what she said clearly so that I do not misinterpret what she said. She said that we cannot afford 300 billion NPOWER beneficiaries' demands, and of course we know that they have been complaining that their stipends have not been given to them when due. This is amidst a pandemic. Would you think that there would be an issue for the federal government to pay these people as at when due, and even when, because some of them are alleging that they have laid them off, and even when you lay them off, can't you give them something? I mean, people are hungry, people are on the streets, there is no job. We're in a pandemic. Even those that have their jobs have even lost their jobs. Chris, what's your take on this quickly?
Look, quickly, I think it's just the same old song, right? What has happened is this. They complain about money, their salaries or stipend being delayed, all right? This is the normal Nigerian. Somebody is packing their money into his account to yield interest, period. That's the thing, because they pay them at the end of the day, but he has to yield into somebody's account. That's a whole lot of billions. Let's not kid ourselves about anything. Otherwise, the minister would have kicked. I mean, today you don't, your salary, your alert is there. You understand? So there are no, technology has made it a lot easier and more open to everybody. So apart from that, it is not, there's no story about it. Somebody is packing their money into his account to yield for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and then give them back. Which is, of course, we don't know whether to say, I mean, we don't know which of the corruption now to say whether it's good or it's bad. Now, the other one, which is what? She can't pay 300 billion. The thing is this. This government and perhaps successive previous government, they all come up with these policies and ideas that are half cooked or half baked. NPOWER is supposed more like an upgraded NYC thing, all right, for graduates, I want to believe. In which case, you have 2 years to serve, right, in whatever area they push you, and they pay you per month. Beautiful idea. But you see, that is just the surface. What you needed to do is that guy you are giving, that graduate that you don't want him to be in the unemployment market, what you need that you are taking him for those 2 years maybe to a place to learn skill, and be ready that after learning that skill you are going to set him up so that from there he now becomes an employer of labor too. When you set him up, it doesn't even end there. You also have to connect him to a market. So then you will have completed that thought, you will have completed that idea, the policy that you are making sense, so that when you now start it, that batch that you groom through full circle, right, will be on hand to take in the one that you are having next. That is, for me, what I understand a true NPOWER should have done. But what are they doing? Okay, it's your luck this time. We chose you to out of the poor Nigerians. So you manage your own for 2 years. After 2 years, go. We don't owe you. We have done giving you your own national cake. Bye bye. But it doesn't work like that. So what I'm saying is that the whole NPOWER thing is not well thought out, and of course you're going to get agitations like this. All right. And coming from humanitarian development, I just talked about her now, that she spent God knows how many billions to God knows which children, and 200 and something billion for palliative that we don't know how, where. Now we have this issue. Those young chaps will not have the boldness to say, give us 300 billion. In fact, what they're saying, give each and every one of us 600,000 naira that came to 300 billion. So let her not blackmail them and say, and they are making sense. So I believe, and the thing is this, really, all of these ideas, if you actually allow them their full potential, they have the potential to help the economy up. If you allow them. So why are anyway, this token is symbolic play by people in power who knows how they play their game, but just to symbolically show Nigerians that they identify with the poor. It's in this government that they have started dividing people who are poor now, the vulnerable. We don't have less privilege again. We have the vulnerable, the poorest of the poor. As nobody is poor except those people you say are poor now. So really, I think they need to rethink that Empower project if they actually mean they are sincere about the objective they want to achieve.
Okay, all right. Okay, this is another message here. We're not surprised on all this drama. It's obvious nothing will come out of it. There are many cases like this that were swept under the carpet. They wouldn't pass a death sentence bill. Okay, that is Charles from Enugu. All right, there. While we're still talking about things that affect us there, but let's come down here in Lagos. As we know that the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has issued a directive to landlords and property agents across the country to charge 6% stamp duty on all tenancy and lease agreements. The directive was contained in a statement FIRS issued on Wednesday by the agency's Director Communications and Liaison Department, Abdullahi Ahmed. Quickly, let's have your take on this here. 6% stamp duty for tenants.
Thank you, Rita. 6%. It is still what I usually say here, that so far the government we have been having insensitive to the plight of the people. As an environmental person, I know the importance of having a shelter over one's head, which, if you ask me today, Nigeria is in deficit about 6 billion housing for its people. A lot of people need house. The birth rate is high compared to death rate. So all those statistics shows that Nigeria needs housing units at low income, middle income, and high income. That's what we need. But coming to say that you want to, add a 6%, although I'm still curious as to how they want to, the methodology they want to use. That's
another question there, because they said the landlords will ask the tenants.
The methodology they are going to use, what the law stipulates, which punishment would it be? I know that cannot work. The Lagos land use charge that Ambode, I was privileged to be there when we were doing when they were doing press briefing. What I discovered is that Ambode said something. Said the land use charge is not going to be compelling at law, but that the Lagos people, inhabitants, should see it as something that they are going to be using to foster development and to sustain the environment. The concept of land use was borrowed in the UK. I've said it in my last program here. But what followed in that concept has been removed. The same thing, this 6% stamp duty. Nigerian government is very good at thinking on how to task the people, but very poor at thinking on how to give sustainable welfare to its people, empower the youth. A lot of graduates are churning out every year. What is government having as blueprint to see that they cover those graduates? Nothing. But the 6%, how realizable would you think it's going to be on those inhabitants? It is not realizable, practically speaking. But we are still waiting to see what kind of methodology and the laws that they will put to give a teeth to it. Whether it is going to be negative, those that will fight it will still fight it in court, because if it's not in tandem with the 1999 constitution, it becomes invalid. So anything that must go against giving shelter to Nigerian people and adding sour into that water, it will not flow, it will not fly. So the definition will definitely come when the time is right to know the framework, the legal framework, to know the ideology and the methodology you want to use. I think fingers should be crossed for now.
Okay, still on increase there. We know that Lagos First too are supposed to increase their fare by 46%. Of course, when Nigerians here increase in the midst of a pandemic, I think there's this anger that comes in the midst of Nigerians. Chris, quickly, we don't have time.
No, that Lagos increase for me is just, it just shows the whole Lagos State's cosmetic, show of, we're COVID-19 commander or leaders as fake. Because why? You are the ones who we have known as leading the charge on this anti-COVID-19 thing, which has told us that people should space out in buses, the 6 meter, all the COVID-19 protocol.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you, first of all, just like my brother rightly said, they are good at tasking the people, but they are very poor at tasking themselves for the welfare of the people. Now, you're giving all this COVID-19 protocol. Now, fares are increasing. You are not bothered. Now, you have now come out openly to endorse fare hike on your people, on an agency that is their own. Because it's not a, I didn't hear it's a PPP or a private, it's Lagos State that runs it. Lagos shall pay taxes. Don't forget. So what are you doing? Now, apart from the fare that you've hiked, those guys said, well, you know, when you do all this your COVID-19 protocol, the people don't sit here, don't sit there. It has reduced our revenue from the 70% to 20%. Oga, please, let people start sitting. And you agreed quickly. So what have you done? What COVID-19 protocol have you done now? You have increased, you have allowed them to have more passengers from 20, I think, to 42 now, so that they can make more money. So where is the COVID-19 panic and the protocol? So what are you telling us? So when you now tell us you are locking us down again, I will tell you we are not locking down. Let the health fall. Are you going to blame us now? Because you have demystified the COVID-19 to us now. That it is as if you operate COVID-19 as is convenient to you. For me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, you know, right from the time this government banned Okada, banned Marwa, the average man has been working, and for those who have money at least to enter this, the available bus, the fares have been increased. The buses and the buses and whatever vehicles are no longer enough for the poor man to walk. So really, I think across levels, this government, whether it is APC, whether it's PDP, this elite, they are pushing. In fact, this particular period, I think they are accelerating that push of the poor man to the wall. Now, I'm sorry, I want to quickly land on what I said before. When I said the people will respond, the people do respond. I always cite to Otokoto in Imo State and Bakassi Boys in Anambra. Let people go back to that history. They may look small, but there are examples for us.
Thank you very much, Chris. Of course, we're not calling for violence here. What we are calling that the right thing should be done. Let the government take care of the welfare of its citizens. Of course, we have another message here. Stamp duty from the masses is so unfair. Yes, the government should be fair to the people. We talked about NEPA bill, foodstuff, transportation bill, and now 6% on rent. Nigerians are dying from the daily action of our leaders. That's Essay from Warri. This one says, may God help Nigerians from this government. Government should help the people. That is Innocent from K2. All right. This one says, it is a shame for PDP asking Buhari to resign after ruling this country for many years without result. They have the opportunity to do the needful by collecting the mistakes made by past military government, but they're working for their selfish purpose there. All right, he's saying that the People's Democratic Party should not call on President Muhammadu Buhari to resign. Let's allow new people to come in to let us think well. Those are the messages there. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to take all these messages, but thank you very much for, of course, your feedbacks. And to my beloved audience, thank you for always being a part of Editors Forum. Of course, you can still join us on our Facebook, Editors Forum-Galaxy TV. We'll be happy to read your messages. Thank you very much, Shegun Rio, and of course, Christopher Otaigbe, for your unbiased analysis. All we're giving here is analysis and, of course, forging the right path to go. I remain Rita Omodia. Of course, to join us same time, same station for another edition of Editors Forum. God bless Nigeria.